Login complete. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and I am here to talk about the next big time event for AEW this August. We still got Double or Nothing. We still got Forbidden Door too. But then, afterwards, All Elite Wrestling will have its very first full-fledged stadium pay-per-view. Yes, we've seen Arthur Ashe stadium events on television. I'm talking about for a pay-per-view. And they are going big. They are swinging for the fences, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited, super excited to talk about All In, not All Out, but the return of All In London. Wembley Stadium, 93,000 seated arena. Huge ordeal. A huge task to undertake. And Tony Khan is going all in, no pun intended, with this show. He plans to bring in the biggest AEW audience ever for this event. Quite frankly, it wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, what's the biggest audience they've done so far? I think it's like in the 20s, right? 20K? Oh yeah. I think by the time these tickets go on sale, they'll probably outdo that in the first 24 hours, whether it's 30 or 40K. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I am excited to see what they do for this event. Not just, the numbers if it sells out, but the card, the matches, the bills, the story, the shows leading into it. You already know. If they are going to do this, if they are going to sell this out, AEW needs to be at its best. Period. End of story. You can't half-ass this. You can't just expect people to just buy it because you're AEW. Nah. You need to make sure production, the stories, the talents, the star power, and most importantly, the matches, the lineup is on point. Every championship, every match, female, male, doesn't matter, intergender, every single match on this card is a banger. Leave no stone unturned. And if you go in with your best foot forward, we could be seeing one of the biggest events ever in wrestling. This could be AEW's true coming out party. If they can do big numbers for this event, every single market will look at AEW as true competition for WWE. If they can sell out this building and give us one of the best events ever, which I think AEW can do, you cannot tell me after all that AEW isn't competition for WWE. Unfortunately, we got fans already saying it's not going to happen. If you go on social media, you'll see people crapping on it, already undercutting the event. And it was just announced last night, not even 12 hours ago. People are already crapping on it. They're putting caps on how many people they can draw. Oh, they won't draw any more than 40,000. How do you know? How do you know? And that's my question. To all the people saying that AEW cannot sell out this stadium, Wembley Stadium, how do you know? How do you know? Are you able to look into the future? Do you live in the UK? How do you know? How do you know what the car is going to look like? How are you able to tell that that is an impossible task? How do you know? You know, there's being a realist, and then there's being a hater. So realistically, 93,000 is probably not going to be what they're aiming for, because they had to use a lot of that stadium for stage, setup, entrances. They'll have some chairs in the ground, for sure. They'll make up for those seats. But even then, it's probably going to be hard to get 93,000 people in there realistically because of the way the show is going to look, because it's going to be some things being blocked off. So realistically, if I was to give a number to what their maximum would be, probably around 70 to 80K, right? 70 to 80K, and I'm considering the fact that they'll put chairs on the ground floor. I think that's a good number. 70 to 80K. Cool. I'm cool with that. But fine, let's just go with that number, because that's still a big task. 70, 80K, that is a huge audience. I live here in Houston. I think the biggest stadium for us, it used to be the Astrodome. Let me see something real quick. Astrodome Houston capacity. I want to see how much the Astrodome said. The Astrodome used to sit, we don't use it no more, 70,000. Okay, full capacity, 70,000. And when WrestleMania 17 came here, they sold it out. And that was around 60 something, right? So that's the Astrodome. Let me put NRG, because that's the other stadium. NRG Stadium. That's for the Houston Texans. That's bigger, I think. Yep, that is bigger. 72,000. So, 70, 80,000, that's a lot of people. But still, how do you know? Why don't you give them a shot? Why are we putting caps on all of this? Here's my question to you. Why is it that anytime a wrestling show, not just AEW, but WWE, tries a big task, goes for something big and ambitious, like when WWE went to sell out the AT&T Stadium, which is 100K. And I remember doing this. I remember when they said that we're going to sell out AT&T Stadium. As big of a hater as I was for WWE, and I was a legitimate hater of everything revolving around Vince McMahon, still am. I remember when that was a thing, I said, I hope they sell it out. I know at one point said, well, they'll only get 89. I said, no, I hope they sell it out. 100K. Let's go. Now, they didn't necessarily sell it all out. They got around 80K, but 80K in there? They said it's 100K. More like 85, but I wasn't one of those fans that was like, man, fuck WWE. I feel like the most damning thing about us as wrestling fans, as much as we love it, as much as we as fans proclaim we are the biggest fan base, the most loyal fan base out of all genres of entertainment, we are also the biggest detractors out of anyone in existence. Really? The biggest detractors should be the ones saying wrestling is fake. That's as far as you should go. Nah, man. The type of fans we got makes those people seem like saints. Because at least the people who go, nah, wrestling's fake, it's not for me, I don't have to worry about them. So if they go to a wrestling event, I'm expecting them not to like it. If anything, if they come and they watch it, I see that as an accomplishment. Thank you for being here, sir. But I know what they are. These other crazy nut jobs who want to see these companies fall and fail and die and burn because they dare would compete with the other one. And I'm not just talking about WWE defenders or WWE loyalists hating on AEW, but vice versa. How can you love wrestling? How can you be a wrestling fan and want to see a company fail? I am someone that does criticize both. But I criticize with the idea that I want them to get better, to improve, to expand, to make more money, to give us better shows so we can have more fans and grow the market. So I'll have more people to talk about wrestling with. That's why I criticize. I criticize to build up, to lift, to elevate. You haters putting caps on AEW at Wembley Stadium, they'll only get 40,000. You don't want them to be successful because you want them to fail. You want them to be embarrassed. You want these wrestlers to leave and go to WWE because for some reason, it makes you feel better about yourselves watching AEW fail. You don't like others being successful in life because you're not successful. You can't stand it when new companies, people like Tony Khan, set goals and accomplish them because you can't accomplish them. This is you projecting your shortcomings and your failures on AEW. You can't stand the fact that they would even dare accomplish something like this. See, I'm someone that's also ambitious. I have huge goals in my life. I wouldn't dare share that with y'all because you would go out of your way to put me down, to demean me, to belittle me, and tell me that I can't accomplish them. Well, as someone that accomplishes everything, that has accomplished everything in his life, despite the world telling him, despite the people in his life telling him that you are nothing, that you would never be anything, I believe AEW can sell out Wembley Stadium. Why is it so hard to believe? Why is it so hard to believe that AEW could pack out Wembley Stadium? A building in London. By the way, the UK, that's one of the hottest wrestling markets. Hotter than the USA. Hotter than Chicago. Hotter than New York. Hotter than any city on these grounds we like to call the land of the free, home of the brave. London is literally the city for wrestling. And on top of that, did you know that AEW is actually more popular in the UK than WWE? Oh, you think I bet some of you went, nah, you made that up. Oh, I did? Okay. Come with me to, what is this, TalkSport? Yeah, come with me to TalkSport real quickly. We're going to read an article. Check this out. Tony Khan confirms AEW draws bigger UK TV audience than WWE after ITV success as he discussed London debut. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just going to read a couple of things here. Let's see here. AEW backed by Fulham's billionaire owner Shahid Khan now officially holds the title of being the most watched wrestling show in the UK. The promotion was founded by Khan's son, Tony, in 2019 and has grown into WWE's most significant alternative for wrestling fans since WCW closed its door over 2 decades ago. Their rise has been enough to turn the heads of former WWE stars Saraya, Paige, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, and CM Punk. But they've also faced barbs from WWE CEO Nick Khan and ex-WWE chairman, ex-WWE chairman, now executive chairman, Vince McMahon, that they are not considered a threat. Well, that could be about to change after AEW president Tony Khan confirmed that his company is number one in the UK. Number one in the UK. So, with that in mind, WWE went to the UK last year, September. Cardiff, Wales. Sold out that building for Clash at the Castle. 60-something thousand. 60-something. Don't remember the full number, but it's like 60-something. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get the exact number. How many people showed up at WWE Clash at the Castle? Let's look this up together. Matter of fact, we'll pull it up. Says here, 62,000. 62,000. So that's big for the record. Here's the one thing about the UK audience that I think is better and separates them from us. Here in America, we're very divisive. We see it online. A lot of you wrestling fans that live in America, you either like AEW and hate WWE, or you like WWE and hate AEW. Very few of us like both. This is a very divisive company. This is a very divisive country. Excuse me, company. USA is a company. Feels like it. This is a very divisive country. We don't just all like the same thing. We should, because we're wrestling fans. Who gives a fuck? But like there's red and blue in politics, there's WWE and AEW fans. For some reason, it's always been that way. And it's not just in wrestling, it's entertainment, period. We're just very divisive. It's always them versus us. Over in the UK, they don't give a fuck. If it's a wrestling show, they're going. If it's about wrestling, guess what? They're there. AEW, cool, we're going. WWE, cool, we're going. Why is it that every other country is not discriminatory when it comes to wrestling? They just want a good wrestling show. They just want good entertainment. They don't give a fuck. They never did. Only we do in America. They don't. So if WWE can do 60,000 and AEW is popular, use your common sense. Why do you think AEW can't sell out Wembley Stadium? Don't worry, I'll wait. You AEW haters are really showing yourselves how you can sit there and really just hope that they don't be successful. Why is it so hard to believe that AEW could not sell out a building in London where it is literally the hottest wrestling show in that market? Make that make sense to me. Why would you put a cap on what they could do? Why don't you, I don't know, expect the best? That's it. Expect the best, prepare for the worst. At worst, 50K. That shouldn't be too hard. Matter of fact, when they start selling tickets, I can see them getting around 40, 50K easy. That first time they sell it out. It wouldn't be that hard. And again, I don't even know what the seat capacity is going to look like. I don't know what they're looking for. Again, they're not going to use the whole building because it's impossible. They can't. So we're not going to get 93, 100 people in there, 100K people. So they'll probably only be able to do maybe 70 to 80,000. 70 to 80,000. Okay. I don't understand why that is an impossible task. And you're just thinking London. Don't just think London. This is a UK event. So Cardiff, we're talking Wales, Europe, everywhere. There are people that are going to be traveling to this event. It is a huge event. Why are you so concerned about whether or not they can sell this out? What you should be concerned about is that the show's going to be good. I don't see people arguing against that because that's not something to argue about. Because Tony Khan has one of, in my opinion, the best in-ring wrestling roster in the world today. AEW has the best in-ring wrestling today, period. Look at the talent roster. Look at all the people, they just named them. With a roster like that, you really expect them not to sell out. Not to sell out. When you think about the people on these shows, MJF, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Britt Baker, and then we got Jamie Hayter, and then we got so many the tag teams, FTR, my goodness, Scissor Me Daddy Ass, The Acclaimed, all these stars. Oh my God, I'd be here all day. I might as well just pull up the entire roster, right? Shoot. What does the roster look like? Did they even take down the page? They probably need to update this roster page, by the way. But Adam Cole, Hangman Page, the Lucha Bros. And we're talking about the roster now. We still got people like Andrade, who might come back, Miro, who might come back, CM Punk. We haven't even talked about him yet. And by the way, now that they got this building and now that FTR has resigned, I am confident more than ever that CM Punk is coming back. So, you got CM Punk. So many others you can bring in on this show. If you want to bring in Big Show, you can do Big Show. Paul Wright. Can't call him Big Show. But, man, Chris Jericho. There's so many. Danhausen, Hook. I'm literally looking at the page. Darby Allin, Sting, Eddie Kingston, Britt Baker. I think I already said Britt Baker. Jay Cargill. Look at all these names, bro. Look at all of this. There's so many things you could do with this roster. Konosuke Takeshita, Malachi Black, the House of Black. Maybe you want to bring in some ROH talent? Sure. I don't know what Jeff Hardy's status is. Maybe you get the Hardy Boys on this show. I think Jeff is under house arrest, though, so I don't know if he can actually perform. But so many things. The storyline between the women, Outcast, Ruby Soho, Saraya. Oh, UK favorites. Saraya, Paige, Tony Storm. Look at that. Samoa Joe. Gotta get Samoa Joe in on there. We gotta get Sammy. Gotta get Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Swerve, Keith Lee. Oh my goodness, we'd be here. And who's to say we can't get New Japan talent? A AAA talent. We might get El Hijo. But man, Rey Fenix, Thunder Rosa. There's so many people we can bring in for this show. You don't know. We don't know if they could sell this out or not. We're just assuming it's not possible because it's AEW, right? It's not WWE, so it's impossible. That is such short-sighted thinking. And that's part of the reason why wrestling is looked down upon. Because its own fan base is its own biggest detractors. More so than people that say it's fake. With the right stories, a sweet lineup of matches. Top stars, some of their best stars, Kenny Omega and the Elite. Hello. A few big names, yeah. CM Punk. And you know what? Mercedes. Why not? She ain't going back to WWE anytime soon. Who's to say that she can't show up and have a match? Why not? Her versus Jade Cargill would be fire. Matter of fact, that should be the match we do. And here's my thing about that too. She doesn't even need to have a contract. She can just do the show. Maybe she will be signed by then. She ain't going back to WWE anytime soon, I can tell you that. Her and Trinity, I didn't even think about Trinity Fatu, Naomi. Now Trinity Star. Who's to say they won't show up? So you get you a full lineup of awesome matches with some of the best wrestlers across the world, and then you add a fire-ass main event. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. CM Punk versus MJF. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. Some lineup of awesomeness that you can throw in that main event to make people want to give you money. There is no reason to believe they can't sell this show out. How will you know unless you try? How do you know? Let's take a shot. Give it a shot. You might knock it out of the park. You might not. Take your shot. If you miss the mark, hey, see it as a learning experience and try again later. Okay, they do the event and it only does, 55,000. Didn't quite hit the mark of selling out. First off, still the biggest audience in AEW history. Still a huge accomplishment. But it didn't hit the mark. All right, see what you did wrong. See what's on your roster that's not drawing the best possible audience. Change it and then try again next year. Come right back next year, same building, and try again. or try a different building. Do not feel discouraged for shooting for the goddamn stars. That's what you should be doing. You don't know how good your roster could be unless you try. And screw all these fans saying, oh, you should go to a smaller venue. Fuck you. You just want AEW to not grow. And stop calling yourself fans if you do that. Stop calling yourself fans. If you are not in support of AEW trying to get the best, biggest audience possible, you are not a fan. And stop calling yourself that. You don't have to like AEW. You don't even have to be a fan. I would just respect you more if you just said you wasn't a fan to begin with. Because then I would be like, all right. Like I said, people who say wrestling's fake, I expect them to not give a fuck. So when they do, I appreciate them more. What I hate are these people that call themselves fans, but then be the biggest detractors. Fuck you. Fuck you. I am happy for AEW. I'm happy they're giving this a shot. And I'm excited to see how well they do. And guess what? I think they're going to do very well. I think they are going to sell it out. However amount they put up there, however many tickets they put out, it will sell out. 80,000, cool. It will sell out. 75,000, cool. It will sell out. Maybe they will get a little bit ambitious and go for 80K plus. Okay. It will sell out. It will sell out. You have to have that mindset if you're going to do this building. Put in your best talent. Give us the best matches. Do the best build. Leave no stone unturned. Leave no stone unturned. And let's see what happens. Why not? I do think at the end of the day, they're going to do huge numbers. Huge. And anyone saying they won't, you're a hater. And it's toxic. And it's best that you go away. You're not a realist. You're a hater. You should want them to do the best. You should want them to exceed expectations. I'm not going to put a cap on them. I'm not going to give them a number. I'm not going to say, oh, maybe 40, maybe 50. I'm not going to do that. Whatever number they do, awesome. I personally think they'll do well over 50. Well over. Like 40, 50, that's low. I can see them doing a good 70. 70 to 80K. That's not unreasonable. If WWE did 60 and AEW is more popular and everyone wants to see a good wrestling show, why not? Tell me if I'm telling lies. Who gives a fuck? Let's see what happens. But I'm pretty sure I pissed off a lot of people. Good. I'm doing my job. But regardless, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching me. I am curious to hear what you have to say. Let me know down below how you feel about this. How many seats do you think they'll sell out? I'm going to ask you that. Do you think they can sell this out? Let me know. But let's keep it clean. Don't be insulting anybody, please. Keep the conversation sweet and concise. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Also, follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And also, donate. PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, or VENMO. You guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. And always know you are welcomed right here in Alyx's world. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.